Have you ever wondered how the ancient Egyptians preserved their dead? The ancient Egyptians believed in an afterlife, a belief which led them to develop the art of mummification. This intricate process was not merely a method of preservation, but a deeply spiritual ritual, the Egyptians' way of ensuring a safe journey to the afterlife for their departed. It's a captivating subject that has fascinated historians and enthusiasts for centuries. And so, today we delve into the ancient art of Egyptian mummification. The mummification process was a complex one, beginning with preparations that were both spiritual and practical. The ancient Egyptians held a deep reverence for the body, believing it to be the vessel for the soul in the afterlife. Thus, the process of preparing a body for mummification was undertaken with the utmost care and precision. To begin, the body was washed with palm wine and rinsed with water from the Nile. This act of purification was not merely a physical cleanse but also a spiritual one. The sacred Nile water, believed to have regenerative properties, was thought to purify the soul and prepare it for its journey to the afterlife. Once cleansed, the next step was a surgical one. The embalmers made a careful incision on the left side of the body, just above the abdomen. This was done with a ceremonial flint knife, a tool chosen for its symbolic association with the sky god, Geb. Through this incision, they carefully removed the internal organs. But these organs were not simply discarded. Instead, they were washed, treated with resin, and then stored in special containers known as canopic jars. Each organ was assigned to the protection of a specific deity. For example, the stomach was under the guardianship of the god Duamutef, depicted with the head of a jackal. The heart, however, was left in place. The Egyptians believed the heart was the center of a person's being, the seat of intelligence and emotion, and it would be needed in the afterlife for the final judgment. The body was then stuffed with natron, a naturally occurring salt, to dry it out completely. This desiccation process was crucial to prevent decay and preserve the body's form. With the body prepared, the next step was to ensure it would last for eternity. The mummy had to withstand not just the ravages of time but also the journey into the afterlife. This was the ultimate aim of the mummification process, to prepare the body for its eternal existence. Preservation was key in mummification, and the Egyptians had a unique method to achieve this. They used natron, a naturally occurring type of salt found in abundance along the Nile River. This salt wasn't like the one you sprinkle on your fries. It had unique properties that made it perfect for mummification. Natron was an ancient Egyptian's best friend when it came to preserving bodies. It's a desiccant, meaning it absorbs moisture, and it's also a disinfectant, perfect for keeping bacteria at bay. The body would be completely covered in natron, inside and out, and left to dry for about 40 days. During this time, the natron would draw out all the body's moisture, leaving it dried and well preserved. It's a bit like how we use salt to cure meats today, only much more thorough. Now, while the body was drying out, the Egyptians weren't just sitting around playing ancient board games. They were busy treating the organs that had been removed during the preparation stage. The heart, believed to be the center of a person's being, was often left inside the body, but the lungs, liver, stomach and intestines were carefully preserved with natron, and then stored in their own special containers known as canopic jars. Each of these jars was dedicated to a particular god who was believed to protect that organ. For example, the jar for the liver was protected by the god Imsidi, while Hapi, the baboon-headed god, looked after the lungs. It was a kind of insurance policy for the afterlife, ensuring the deceased would have everything they needed for their journey. So there you have it, the secret to how the ancient Egyptians preserved their mummies. Through a combination of natural resources like natron and a deep understanding of the human body, they were able to create a preservation process that has stood the test of thousands of years. It's a testament to their ingenuity and their profound respect for the afterlife. Now, with the body preserved, it was time for the final stages of mummification. The wrapping of the body was not just a practical step, but also a deeply spiritual one. The Egyptians believed that the physical form was essential for the soul's journey into the afterlife. Thus, preserving the body's shape was of paramount importance. They would meticulously wrap the body in many layers of linen, a fabric made from the flax plant, which signified purity in their culture. But the wrapping process was not just about preservation, it was also about protection. As the body was wrapped, amulets were carefully placed between the layers of linen. These charms were thought to safeguard the deceased against potential dangers in the afterlife. Each amulet held a specific power, and the placement of each was a thoughtful act, guided by ancient spiritual beliefs. Intertwined with the wrapping process were a series of rituals, each designed to prepare the soul for its journey. One of the most significant was the ritual of the opening of the mouth. This ceremony was believed to restore the mummy's ability to breathe, eat, and speak in the afterlife. Priests would touch the mummy's mouth with special instruments, symbolically reawakening the senses. All these steps, from the meticulous wrapping to the careful placement of amulets and the performance of rituals, were steeped in spiritual significance. They were seen as essential in ensuring the soul's safe passage into the afterlife. Finally, the mummified body was ready for its journey into the afterlife. Mummification was not merely a process of preservation, it held deep significance for the ancient Egyptians. When we delve into the heart of this ancient practice, we find a civilization deeply rooted in beliefs about the afterlife, a civilization that saw death not as an end, but as a new beginning. Mummification was a bridge to the afterlife, a way to ensure the deceased's ka, or life force, could recognize its body and return to it. This underlying belief was a major driving force behind the intricate process of mummification. Moreover, the practice of mummification reflects the values and culture of the ancient Egyptians. It speaks to their respect for the dead, their meticulous attention to detail, and their unwavering reverence for their deities and religious customs. So the next time you see an Egyptian mummy, remember the intricate process and deep beliefs that created it.